I trotted past them into the bathroom and stared at the mirror. The right side of my face looked fine. The left, raw red lines formed a Y, meeting right over my left eye socket. A raw and bloody hole lay where my eye should have been. I sighed as I stared at myself. I didn't even look like Blackjack anymore. I looked like some old, scarred wasteland raider. Well, fuck, I muttered. What else could I say? Blackjack, don't go. Take some time to recover, P-21 said softly. I thought you were going back to chapel, I replied as I walked past him, the braces clicking beneath me. That was a cheap-ass shot, Blackjack. I stopped, bowing my head a little. I have to go. I have to help her. Don't you see? If we just let her go after we left Weather Station 4, she never would have gotten hurt. She didn't deserve any of this. So I'm going to find the only thing in the wasteland I think can help. Or I'm going to go stark raving mad. I glanced over at my shoulder at him. I don't expect either of you to come with me. In fact, you should go back to chapel. The further you are from me, the safer you'll be. Without another word, I left my friends behind, where they were safe. No pony tried to stop me as I made my way to the exit. I drew every look, though, as I stepped out into the foggy day. Great, as if Hoofington's normal drizzle wasn't bad enough. 6 gray 4-story granite buildings rose around the yellow rectangular field, filled with scrappy military vehicles, tents, and cargo containers. Barricades had been built across the gaps with bits of steel and rubble. Turrets atop the corners of the buildings pointed out at the wasteland, slowly moving as they tracked for hostile targets. I think you might be the second worst patient I've ever had, the doctor said as she trot out after me into the rain, put a cigarette from her pocket and put it between her lips. A little flash ignited the tip. You know, there's at least 3 ponies here fighting for the chance to get first dibs at studying your corpse. I don't think that we've ever had a pony exposed to the degrees of enervation, radiation, and taint you've been. Sorry to disappoint, I said as I continued through the clammy gray mist. Which way to the skyport? The skyport? Triage's eyes narrowed. You seriously think the volunteer corps is going to help your friend? Your friend's a Dashite. I saw the brand. I gave her a shooty look, but to her credit, she didn't look away. Maybe it was only half as effective with one eye. I only need help from one of them. They'll tell me where to find them, I said, my braces clattering softly with every step. If not, I'll make enough noise that they'll come find me. Now, which way is it? I asked as I looked around, though it wasn't as if there were any signs saying Enclave this way. Triage just took one long look at me, standing there before her, and sighed as she pulled out the cigarette and pointed to the burning tip towards the scrap metal gate. Go out the north gate, by the planetarium. Watch for ghouls. When you hit Celestia Boulevard, go east. It's about 5 or 6 miles. She put the cigarette in her mouth. You're really going? Alone? I'm not going to get any more ponies hurt following me, I said firmly. She just sighed, and her horn pulled a black eye patch from her coat pocket. Here, put this on. At least try and keep an infection out of that socket, she said as she floated it in place and tied it over my missing eye. I smirked, then startled as a pony trotted abruptly into my field of vision on my left. Okay, this was going to take some getting used to. So, I guess that makes me a one-eyed Blackjack. I think that taint's given you some hardcore brain damage, she said as she looked at me with a shake of her head. Fine. I'll just let you know that the professor wants to talk with you before you go. Chat with her or don't. She's in the planetarium if you care. 2nd floor. She trotted back towards the School of Medicine, building behind me. I sighed and made my way across the muddy field towards the huge domed structure on the north end. I stopped by a merchant working out of a burned-out bus and converted most of the junk in my saddlebags into specialty ammo for my shotgun. The healing potions in stock looked absolutely pitiful, but they would probably be okay for a few more days. No time to waste. I'd talk when I got back. The guards at the gate were pathetic, but I had to admit that the energy turrets they had rigged up looked more than formidable. They gave me incredulous looks as I passed by. "Good luck," one of them muttered just before the door slammed shut behind me. Once past the raised ruins of the college at base, I found myself almost lost in the mist. Grim gray buildings were simply dark patches till I moved close enough to their shattered remains. Broken statues reared in silent poses in the mist, and I could swear that they were watching me. There was other debris too, largely in the form of rusting sky carriages. Cold gray patches of water sat like glazed mirrors between the crumbling buildings on the edge of campus. Then I heard a shot, and another, distant, and hard to tell what direction in the muffled mist. Then there was an inequine scream, and another. Suddenly I heard the splashing much closer. I twisted my head just in time to see a mottled black and red boiled pony lunge out of the fog at me. I brought my shotgun up to his neck to block its lunging bite, forcing me to push back with my forehooves as its splintered and jagged teeth chomped in the air before my face. Sats and 2 magic bullets exploded the head with a spray of rotting matter. I whirled in time to face 2 more as I set the braced legs and focused on blasting instead of running. My shotgun roared, the buckshot ripping into the soft, pulpy bodies and stripping rotting flesh from yellowed bone. As soon as they dropped, I reloaded, bringing out the sword as more raced at me. I didn't really know how to fight with a sword, so I treated it like a baton, a disturbingly sharp baton. The razor edge cut into them quite nicely, and once or twice I was even lucky enough to hew off limbs. The shotgun rendered their skulls into bloody goo. My braced legs clicked and strained under my barding as they bit and snapped at my limbs that they could get their mouths on. "Why?" I shouted over the hissing and snapping. I brought the sword down and split the leathery hide of one ghoul's face. "Our ghouls?" I cut the blade horizontally across another's throat, and was rewarded with its head arcing completely off. "Always?" I pressed the shotgun to another's chest, and with a sickening pop, blasted rotting guts and rancid organs out of his torso. Another shot in the face finished it. "Hungry!" I yelled, as I emptied the last 2 shells into one trying to chew through both brace and barding on my hind leg. More and more came at me, and soon I was forced to move as they flanked me. Whatever the reasons inside their feral brains were, I was food. Better still, I was slow food. I just couldn't move as fast or smoothly with the braces on. Their undead jaws and broken hooves pummeled my already not quite intact body, and I was firing as fast as I could while reloading and slashing wildly behind me with a sword. I was lucky that I didn't cut my own tail off. The rounds, however, proved to be my salvation. The razor-sharp darts shredded into the pulpy flesh even more efficiently than the buckshot. With their gray flesh rendered into reeky goo, they fell one after the next. Then, as fast as they appeared, the last one fell. I gasped for breath, turning this way and that. There were red bars still in the fog, but for the moment I wasn't being attacked. I wiped their gunk off the sword, reloaded with shrapnel, and continued along the broken road north. I wasn't alone anymore either. The dealer trotted along beside me. "You sure about this, Blackjack?" "It's not like last time. I'm not going to die. I'm going to get help from my friend," I said, as I trod along a flooded street through the fog. There were more gunshots ahead. More ponies I'd probably have to kill. "Alone?" "It's better this way. This way, the only pony who gets hurt is me. I have to walk it alone," I replied, feeling the hollow inside of me. P21 knows it. He's the only one brave enough to admit it. For a while he said nothing as we walked side by side. "You ever think maybe you should just Except, what's happened to her? I really wished I could just shoot him. Really. Except what? That Glory will never fly again? No, I can't accept that. I kept my eyes locked straight ahead. There were more red marks that way, too. Maybe you'll have to. Shut up! I screamed at him. What is the point of you? I'm fucked up enough in the head without having my stupid brain telling me what I already know. I've accepted that I'm the cunt that cost her everything. Now I'm going to give something back to her. The only thing that I can give to her. The gunshots were becoming louder, and then I came across them. 2 ponies trapped on a second-story ledge accessible only by a thin ramp of debris. It was the only thing keeping them alive as a dozen or so ghouls slowly crawled up towards them. Their low-caliber rifle was barely adequate for rad roaches and bloat sprites and feral ghouls. Soon as they got tired and ran out of bullets, they'd be ghoul chow. I didn't care. As I stared at the scene, I realized that I didn't care that they were going to die. I didn't know these 2 ponies. I didn't need to help them. I didn't want to help them. I could simply back away, go around, and get to the skyport to help the 1 pony that needed my help. Even if I did help them, they would probably shoot me, or I'd have to escort them back to the university. Or worse, they'd want to hang around me. In that instant, I stopped being security. I was just another wasteland scavenger, tainted and corrupted and putting myself first. I might not have had a clue to what my virtue was, but at this moment, I knew I didn't have any. I slowly backed away, looking for a way around. Blue Pegasus inside my head was very put out with me. They all were. This was the antithesis of awesome. I heard one of the mares calling for help. I clenched my eyes shut, tapping the barrel of my gun against my forehead. Yep, she's right, Blackjack. You're brain damaged. It's the only explanation. With a scream, I charged. Trotted rapidly forwards and towards the mass of ghouls, firing cones of razor-sharp metal into the wheeling, hissing creatures. A few of the glowing variety received SATS-guided magical rounds to their noggins. The rest were slowly abated by the shotgun. The swinging blade kept them at bay as I reloaded and resumed tearing out chunk after chunk of dead pony flesh. Finally, I blew the legs out from under the last ghoul. My horn throbbed so bad that I wondered if it would go the way of my eye and just explode or something. Then the pink unicorn mare poked her head out, lifted the rifle at me warily. A bloody earth pony mare peeked out next to her. So did 2 foals. Thank the goddesses! It's security! Security saved us! She exclaimed as she lifted the rifle from me. With a clatter, my legs gave out beneath me, and I fell soundly on my rump as the 4 scrambled down the narrow ramp towards me. The brown earth pony mare's battle saddle had gotten twisted and fouled, the hunting rifles pointing uselessly beneath her. The pink unicorn paused, looking worried again. Are you all right, security mare?